broadcasting from Miami. We have a Miami crowd here, except for one of the parties, Eric Rylander. Anyways, we're going to do a presentation about the Miami Anatomical Research Center, a center that essentially trains surgeons from around the globe, and a lot of international type of surgeons that come here. And we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna ask questions about the center after they're here. We're here with Al Weinstein, the head of the research center, and Heloise Pexoto, as well as Eric Rylander, who works for Ortho Now TV. Good day, everyone. Well, let's just quickly go through the panel and just say a few words, who you are, what you do, and then we'll turn it over to a discussion. So why don't we start with you, Heloise?
Hi, my name is Eloise. I'm the general manager for Miami Anatomica Research Center. We are a state-of-the-art facility located in Miami. We do cadaver training for all different specialties, and I will pass the word to the CEO and one of the founders, Al Weinstein, that can explain a little better about the center.
Okay, before we go into the explanation, Al, just introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, my name is Al Weinstein. I'm the CEO, founder, and managing partner of the Miami Anatomical Research Center, which is located in Doral, Florida, right outside of Miami.
Very good, Al. Welcome. And Eric?
Thanks for having us.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm Eric Rylander with Ortho Now, and this is one of our pre-conference broadcast series. We're going to do a 30-minute deep dive conversation today into the MARC in Doral, and it gives us an opportunity to find out a little bit more about that center and what it has to offer, because tomorrow night we have our Fit Triathlete event there at the MARC, but we're using just a very small percentage of the facility. We're actually just using the auditorium, and today we're going to hear a lot more about the other things they have to offer and why this is such a unique opportunity for us. This is a world-class facility that attracts surgeons from around the world, so I'm anxious to hear more about it.
Okay, good. Okay, let's start things off. I guess you both are going to talk a little bit about what the center's about and the structure, etc. Why don't we start with you, Heloise? Could you please tell us about the MARC Center, please?
Sure. Well, we are a 40-station lab, and we can do all different procedures at our lab. And we are an all-inclusive facility, so that gives the benefit to the company since we take care of procuring the specimens. We have bilingual staff that are our lab technicians. They are all bilingual. We have broadcasting capabilities, translation capabilities. We can have courses and doctors. We have been doing courses with doctors from all over the world. We can provide general instruments. We also have special rates with all the hotels in the Doral area, South Beach, Brickell area, and we offer catering services during the courses here at our facility. And the advantages that we have is that our lab, we can scale according to the size of the lab. So we have a 40-station lab, but actually we can do small labs as well, and we can scale the size of the lab according to the size of the group. We are located less than 15 minutes from the Miami International Airport, and we have a state-of-the-art facility with an auditorium that can seat up to 104 people, and I think that we are a facility that provides an excellent service, and today we have been doing courses for all the major device companies, including orthopedics, spine, dermatology, CMF, dental, and I think that we have been able to prove to our customers that we are one of the best, if not the best lab in the U.S.
So what do you think about that, Al?
I'd just like to think that I'd like to change the U.S. to the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a great summary, Eloise. Let me just start off by saying that the MARC, the principals of the MARC are myself and 6 other physicians. And we had the idea in 2005. From the industry standpoint, I've always felt that education was critical in starting to introduce new techniques, new products, and to help out the competencies within the surgical environment and medical device industry. So I've always thought that education was a big part, or should be a big part, of the commercialization. And we've gone to other labs throughout the country, and what we wanted to do was do some different things from the other labs in the country, and that's what we did. We found some space, an 18,000 square foot facility in Doral. We picked Miami area for a few reasons. Eloise mentioned one, that we're close to the airport, which is great, so it makes it easy to go back and forth. They've got some great hotels. The nice thing about Miami is that it's a great destination getaway. People like to come here. It's got a multicultural environment, and she talked about people from all over the world. About over 40% of the business at the MARC currently is international business. And that's one of the reasons why we also built it in Miami, because of the gateway to the international world. We do a lot of courses not only in from Latin America, but all over the world. We've probably trained over 50,000 healthcare professionals since we've opened our doors. Our first course was in November 2008. And basically, the business model is that we do a lot of courses for medical device companies, physicians, societies, and hospitals. And people will call and say, I want to bring 200 doctors to the MARC to teach them a new technique. And the MARC supplies everything from the cadaver specimens to the surgical instrumentation to the general instrumentation. The only thing the society or the doctor would have to bring would be any instrumentation specific to that company's procedure. We supply the techs. We have the ability to broadcast from our lab to and from anywhere in the world with a great quality picture. We broadcast to and from our laboratory into our auditorium, which Eloise mentioned is a 104-seat state-of-the-art auditorium. Actually, the people, it's a very professional audio and video system. We've made some tremendous upgrades to it. We can do some good mixing with it and some good production. We also have one of the services that we offer to MARC is production capabilities. We have some high definition cameras, some mixing boards, and some great AV so that we can actually produce some materials that companies actually use for education, surgeon training, and for marketing purposes. So we're real excited about it. The initial concept was just to be more than a lab, which we're trying to do. We're trying to be more of an educational facility, a school, and we're heading that direction. We do medical education, not only for docs, but also we do a lot of training for students, medical students, medical colleges. They use us a lot for basic anatomy. So we have a lot of students taking anatomy programs here, dissection, and basically the art of surgical skills can be enhanced here through the MARC.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Al, would you mind taking us through your website? You have an excellent website, and I think people can see the pictures and stuff. Do you want to go through that, or you want me to screen share it?
Sure. Eloise, do you have it loaded on your computer?
Yes, I will be happy to share the information.
Okay.
And I can talk to it if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. I could always screen share it too if you want.
You can share it, John, as well.
Yeah. Okay. You got it, Heloise? I'll let you do it if you can.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Any luck? If you can't get it, oh, there you go. Looks like something's happening. Whoop, wrong. There you go. There you go. There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Okay, the screen is yours.
Okay, great. Well,
So,
go ahead, Eloise. Why don't you talk about it?
yeah, we will start with the first picture. That is a full picture of the lab house, so you can go over all the details about the lab.
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to build a spacious lab. Each one of those tables is what we consider to be a station, and you can see the different poles. So we can, as Eloise said before, we can accommodate from 40 stations, and each one of those rooms becomes an independent room with a sliding wall. So we can do 4 10-station labs, 1 40-station lab. We can have multiple companies at the site at one time. One company can go ahead and use shoulders on one side, knees on the other, and do multiple applications while they're there. Mm-hmm. Each quad has its own teaching station. There's cameras inside the light. There's cameras inside the inside the projectors. We can do inside-outside videotaping and production of that, and there's a 100-foot screen in each one of the labs. And each lab station has its own video monitor so that each station can independently see what the instructor is talking about. And it can be broadcast into the lab.
Can we see a picture of that? Would there be a possibility of seeing a picture of the screen alongside the station?
You have that, Eloise?
No.
Oh,
no, we don't have any close-up of the station. We just have every single column. Yeah, has now.
Okay, well that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah. And the other thing is that what we've done differently is we do a lot of arthroscopic courses and programs. Mm-hmm. Instead of using bags of saline, having bags all over and water, we have a totally enclosed system. We designed our own saline solution maker, and it flows directly into each station and filtered out. So there's no changing of bags, there's no dripping, and everything's maintains. It's very clean.
Okay.
And very dry.
Yeah, on the blue column, actually, each blue column has the saline tubing that connects directly to the equipment.
The nice thing about this is a company will come in with faculty, or we can supply faculty, and the idea of using fresh frozen cadavers is not common outside the United States. A lot of countries internationally aren't allowed to use fresh frozen cadavers, or do they have the availability of the fresh frozen cadavers. And in our mind, what we wanted to do is, medical education has been the same. Medical technology has changed over the years quite a bit. Medical education really hasn't done that much to keep up the pace. We felt that using fresh frozen cadavers and giving the surgeon the didactic feel and the hands-on feel in a real surgical setting was critical for the success of teaching the physicians on the best way to do the procedures, as well as using up-to-date equipment. Mm-hmm. So that is one of the benefits of using a fresh frozen cadaver. It's as realistic as you can get, and we actually even use dyes and contrast, so you can actually see the veins, the arteries. You can see when you do an injection where it's going, the muscles, nerves. So it's quite realistic and a great training experience.
So a quick question now, what percentage, would you say it's 100% surgeons trained there, or is it all specialties?
No, it's a lot of healthcare professionals, not 100% surgeons. Our biggest clients are the surgeons, and we are multi-specialty. So we do dermatology, dental implants, gastro. We do, you know, we've actually done hair transplants.
Okay.
Using new procedures. What else, Eloise? Anything?
Cardiovascular, thoracic, spine.
Okay, and are there medical companies that come to you that want to show doctors their new devices? Is that your main source of?
The main model is that a company will call and train physicians on using the new products and techniques. What's nice about it is, based on the world with the Department of Justice and things that companies can do and can't do in relationship to physicians, one thing that is critical to the success is the transfer of information and knowledge, which is one of the things that the Department of Justice and all the federal agencies like to have. This opportunity gives the companies an opportunity to work directly with the surgeons on a one-on-one basis to teach them these new products and these new procedures and technologies. So that's a great way to help them build the credibility and the relationships, as well as the educational aspect of the product.
Okay, Eric, do you have any questions?
Just to kind of follow up, I was curious. Al, you touched on something that I hadn't thought about, but the MARC doesn't put on any programs, right? The MARC is a host for other people. It's not something the public would contact to find out about upcoming events.
That is correct. Most of the courses, I'd say 90% of the courses are company owned, so they can go to the if they have an interest, they can contact somebody from the company. We don't have our own courses and programs at the current time. That is something that we can do moving forward. We have thought about starting some of our own programs and courses, not just for doctors but for medical students, with anatomy programs, utilization of surgical tools, OR certifications, things like that, which would increase the amount of usages for the MARC Center.
Well, possibly a virtual medical school.
That's basically what the original visualization and concept was. We got so involved with everything when we opened up, and we got so busy with labs. Those are tremendous. We're busy. Well, I think we're booked almost every weekend so far this year, and we actually are booked a lot during the week too. But we're pretty adaptable and flexible, so that even for companies here, we have the ability, because of the environment and what we have, we can do multiple companies at one time, and most times companies don't even know they're in the same facility. We also just put a new, and it might not sound a lot to a lot of people, but for us it's been great. We just came out and we put a brand new structure outside the MARC Center, and it's a tent which holds over 200 people. And what we're doing there is, companies love to have the physicians come. We set it up really nice, like a catering event. We supply AV materials and AV equipment there, and they actually, a lot of them love to have their lectures outside. They sit down and have a nice lunch and enjoy some of the Florida weather, and it gives us an opportunity to use even more of the facility. So we've actually had close to 250 people at the center at one time. We also have our own C-arms, and we also have capabilities of getting extra C-arms. We've actually run up to 16 or 17 C-arms during a lab to get the visualization that they need for trauma, for surgeries that involve the use of C-arm capabilities. We also have microscopic microscopes and surgical equipment so that we can do some very minute and micro work in all areas of the body. We have the capabilities of doing a lot with the specimens as well. We have CT capabilities, so if they want to do CT scan prior and after. We have the ability to make certain fractures if they want to practice on certain types of nailings, arms, hands, whatever. And so that's basically what's being done at the MARC. We'll probably have about 13,000 healthcare professionals come visit the MARC this year from all over the world. We're very excited about that. We feel that we're helping the competencies of surgeons throughout the world, and to us that's very important.
Well, as you referred to at the beginning, there's a couple of other centers around. You've probably been to the Da Vinci Center, I guess. That's one in Florida, correct?
Well, the Da Vinci Center is the MARC Center.
Oh, Da Vinci used to be there?
Yeah, we changed the name.
Oh, you're kidding! Wow.
Yeah, we changed it to the Miami Anatomica Research Center from Da Vinci.
I didn't realize that. I thought that was in Central Florida, and that's where they used to send surgeons, urologists, and other surgeons to train on the Da Vinci. So you have a lot of Da Vinci courses there?
We don't have any Da Vinci robotic courses. We do have a lot of navigational courses and other robotics and other new methods and guides for doing surgery, navigational type systems.
Yeah, that's an exciting part of medicine, and
it is a tremendous. It's a growing area. It's tremendous. And we're very excited about that as well.
What would you say, Al and Heloise, the breakdown of the percentages of specialties? Is it a large amount of orthopedists? Would you say they're number one and dermatologists number two? How would it break down approximately, the specialties that use the MARC?
I think that orthopedics, I think that orthopedics is the first. I would say that it's probably 40%, between 30 to 40% of our business, and the second specialty, I think that is GYN. We do a lot of GYN courses and spine as well. So I think that would be like 25-30% for those specialties.
And then a lot of plastics.
Yes, and a lot of plastic surgeries. But I just would like to go back to the question that Eric asked before, because I think that it was a really good question, and I just would like to add something to that, because we have a lot of healthcare professionals that call the MARC or contact us by email or through our website, because we have on our website a form that the companies and the doctors, they can send us the requests for their lab needs, and a lot of doctors, they ask us, how can I participate on a course at MARC? So and I think that it's important for them to know that we don't get involved with the courses, but they can try to contact their sales reps, or they can try to call the companies and ask the companies to participate at the courses at MARC. That's a way that they can try to participate in the courses that are hosted here at our center, because we have been seeing more and more requests, especially through our website, because the doctors, some of them, they don't understand how the logistics work, and they think that the courses that we have at MARC, they are MARC courses. So I just would like to clear that up so they know how to try to reach out the companies and or the sales reps to participate at the courses here at our facility. And like I was mentioning, that probably in the future we will have some of our own courses for students, and since we know that a lot of countries, they don't have access to fresh frozen specimens, and a lot of schools and universities, they use models or even 3D images when it comes to learning anatomy, and we think that we can be a big help for those schools and those countries, especially the ones that are close by in the Caribbean or Central America, that they can come to our center and do their anatomy classes here. And we have a couple of schools that do that already, and we are very excited to extend our services to the healthcare professionals that don't have the opportunity of training in the fresh frozen, because we know the importance of the training, since it's the closest that the professional can get to the real patient experience.
Okay, let me just take this opportunity to jump in with a question, and maybe Al can answer this. What's the status and the extent of the current remote teaching going on at MARC? You mentioned the cameras and the
we have
the ability. So where's
we've had courses, and we have the capabilities. If someone wanted it as part of their program and course, do a live surgical procedure from their operating room, we can broadcast that. Depending on the IP materials that they have, we can broadcast that to the MARC and show that. And at the same time, then they can see all that. There's a panel, and then we can go into the lab and they can actually see and then do the procedure. We also have the capabilities that if somebody wanted to broadcast a surgical procedure from our lab to different remote locations throughout the world, with people in the room, we have the capabilities of doing that from the audio and visual perspective.
Okay, so you have the capability, but you're not doing it yet, or you're
no. We've done some of it. Okay. We do a lot of broadcasting from our lab into the auditorium. Okay. We've done multiple surgeries from live surgical centers and surgical cases, but we really haven't done a lot of just from our lab to multiple locations around the world.
Okay. Well,
I know that you've done it multiple times from the surgery center at Doral. I know Dr. Padilla has done that during the Miami Hand course that's taken place there.
And that's a very effective training tool. They actually get to see it in action. Dr. Padilla does a tremendous job explaining as they go. There's usually a panel inside the lab or inside the auditorium to answer questions back and forth, and then everybody has an opportunity to go into the lab and actually do the procedure. Mm-hmm. So it's a very effective way to educate and to make sure that people retain the information that they just saw.
Yeah, that seems to be a huge market, remotely showing surgical procedures from the MARC Center. That would be great, all throughout wherever. A lot of potential there to do that.
Yes, tremendous amount of potential, John. We really feel that we're just touching the top of the surface.
Yes.
Yes. We've got our staff in place. We've ironed out a lot of things. We've got a tremendous building. We've got some tremendous equipment. We have spent a lot of money with some of the instrumentation. We have 20 sets of arthroscopic and endoscopic instrumentation here. So if somebody wanted to do a 20-station arthroscopic or endoscopic lab, we have the capabilities of doing that, including cameras, light sources, scopes, all different types of things for all different specialties. So we are very well equipped. And one thing I want to make sure that I give a lot of credit to the staff at the MARC. The staff at the MARC is second to none. They go above and beyond doing what's necessary. I've done a lot of labs and a lot of things. I've been in the orthopedic industry for over 40 years. I know I don't look that old on TV, but we do it right at the MARC. And we actually know that. We survey almost every customer that comes through the door, and our surveys have been very, very, very good. And we have a lot of repeat customers. The only advertising we have is the website. Everything else has been word of mouth, and the business, thanks to a tremendous staff, has been continually growing.
Well, one comment I'd like to make, Al, Heloise, and Eric, is that I have contact with surgeons all over the world on this platform of Hangouts, which hopefully we'll get to know this better. But one thing I've seen from surgeons around the world is that they look towards the United States to what's happening next and what is going on. And certainly the United States is a leader, whether they like it or not, in surgery. And a lot of, I know neurosurgeons, we had a hangout with neurosurgeons, a couple of them from Brazil, and they saw the MARC Center, and I think one had actually been at the MARC Center, Bernard and
Put a smile on Eloise's face when you say Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's where you're from, Heloise?
Yes, I'm from Brazil.
Okay, he's Bernard Andrada. He's done a couple of hangouts with us in a neurosurgery TV. We have a weekly neurosurgery TV show on the internet, but he mentioned the MARC Center. He says, yeah, I showed it to him. He says, yeah, I've been there. I had a great course there. And certainly, he looks to the United States to learn new neurosurgical procedures, like I'm sure Zimmer and Dupuy and whatever other medical device companies, when they want to show new neurosurgical devices, spinal devices, etc., use the MARC. Maybe that was why he went there originally. But there's a huge market of surgeons that are looking to the United States, and if they knew about the MARC Center, I'm sure they would pay attention. So I guess that was a pretty good overview of what's going on. Is there anything else we missed, Heloise or Al?
I'd just like to thank you, John, for the opportunity to discuss the MARC Center. And I appreciate it. And Eloise, thank you for your time. And Eric, appreciate it. Thank you. I hope you guys have a great conference tomorrow night.
Okay, tune in. Okay, Eloise, thank you for coming. And Eric, any parting words, Eric?
No, that'll do it. Tune in to the same channel, orthonow.tv, tomorrow night for the Fit Triathlete event, 6 o'clock.
Okay, very good. Okay, good evening, folks. Good afternoon.